again in the macroeconomic class. Dear students, in this lecture we will discuss about the inflation. So first of all, I will define that what inflation is. It's a general rise in the price level is called the inflation. In simple terms, we are saying that it's a general rise in the price level. It means when most of the items or the majority items price rises, we say there is inflation in the country, in the economy. So inflation, this is one of the major concerns for the governments, because inflation is one of the important factors which is determining the performance of the governments. If the prices are rising on the regular basis, it negatively affects the performance or the image of the government. So throughout the history, the prices they are constantly rising. So every day when we compare the prices, today's prices with yesterday's prices or last year's prices, we see the difference that current prices they are higher than the last year's prices. So I am writing here the definition of the inflation, that inflation is the increase in the prices of majority of the items purchased by buyers, the consumers, or even all the people who are purchasing the goods purchased by people or businesses. Is compared to previous prices, means previous level of the prices. So it's a general rise in the price level, that when prices are rising or increasing is compared to the last time's prices. So that's why we say inflation. We call it in Urdu the mahangai, or in Sindhi mahangai. So what are the reasons that prices are rising? But before talking about the reasons of the inflation, we say that one is the inflation, and we call it the creeping inflation. When prices are increasing with a slower speed. When the prices of the goods and services they are increasing but with very slow speed, less than 10%, around 10% increase in the prices as compared to their last time's prices. So we say there is a creeping inflation. Then another is the hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is that economic condition when prices they are rising more than 50%. Is That kind of the inflation when prices of goods and services rises or increases at a speed of above or more than 50%, when the prices of the commodities are rising with very fast speed. If we say suppose during last month the prices of the basket, to understand the meaning of the basket, to understand the inflation, we use the concept of the basket. Basket is the collection of the goods which people they are buying on the regular basis for their monthly consumption or for their regular purchases. So later on I am discussing about the basket in detail. So when we say that prices they are rising at a speed of at least 50%, if the last month's price is suppose 1000, the items which someone has purchased is cost him or her 1000 rupees, and this month, if this one is costing 1550, so we say that there is a hyperinflation, the prices are rising very rapidly. It means in this condition, the money loses its value with a very fast speed. And there are various cases, various worst cases of the hyperinflation in the world. During Second World War in Germany, people preferred to use currency notes for cooking purposes instead of buying the sticks, because at that time the currency lost its value. During Iraq war, during the last days of the Saddam Hussein in Iraq, the Iraqi currency in Iraq, the huge hyperinflation was there. In recent past, Zimbabwe also has faced the hyperinflation, where more than 20-30,000% prices were increasing on the monthly basis, and even in Afghanistan. So hyperinflation is that condition where prices rise with very fast speed. And another term which is related to the inflation is the stagflation. Stagflation is that economic condition where the prices and unemployment they rise at the same time. Both are increasing at the same time. Whenever in an economy, when the prices and the unemployment increases at the same time, we say that there is a stagflation. Stag is taken from the stagnation. It means the economy is just stopped. The goods are not, economy is not increasing its production. Things are not produced as required. And inflation means that it is related with the inflation, the prices they are rising. So because of this situation, because of the shortage of the goods, prices increased and also because firms, they are not producing the goods, so that's why they are not employing the people, so it also increases the unemployment. So this kind of inflation is called the stagflation. And generally, whenever prices rise, economists suggest that unemployment falls in the general conditions. But in the stagflation condition, whenever prices are rising, unemployment is also increasing. We call this condition the stagflation. And another one, now, the opponent of the inflation is the deflation. Deflation is that economic condition where, I am writing here the definition of the deflation, is that economic condition when prices of goods and services on average falls, or generally this is an economic condition when general price level falls. When general price level falls, we say that there is a deflation, and it means this is the opponent of the inflation. Inflation means when general price level rises, when prices rise, जब कीमतें बढ़ती हैं, सरासरी चीज़ों की कीमतें बढ़ती हैं, मेजॉरिटी आइटम्स की कीमतें बढ़ती हैं, then we say that there is inflation. And when majority items price falls, we say there is a deflation. Usually deflation is not happening or not occurring in the economies, because inflation is very much dangerous or harmful for the buyers or for the consumers, especially for those people whose income is not increasing with the increase in the price level. And deflation is also very dangerous. As per the economists, deflation is dangerous than the inflation. So when prices fall, there is a law of supply that whenever prices fall, firms produce less. So due to the reduction in the prices, people lose the jobs. Firms stop producing more things, then they lay off the workers. So that's why deflation is also very dangerous for the economies. So these are the terms related to the inflation. So I repeat again that inflation is the general rise in the price level. And how we measure the inflation, what are the techniques to measure the inflation. But before discussing the measures that how inflation is measured, I am discussing here that what happens, who is affected by inflation. Or negative impacts of inflation. When the price rise, I am writing here that when prices increase, who is affected by the rise of the prices? The fixed income earners, when the price level rises, it has negative impact on the fixed income earners. Just like, suppose, if a person is earning 100 rupees per day, if a person is earning 100 rupees per day, when Price rise. Suppose I say this is the October, month of October. The earning of the person is 100 rupees. Now we say the month of November, the earning of the person is same 100 rupees. But in between 2 months, the price level rises. Suppose we say price rise in November as compared to October, 10% increase in the prices during November is compared to the October. To buy same quantity of the goods, if suppose we say this person was using 100 rupees to buy 10 items. Now, because of the 10% rise in the price level, to purchase 10 items, this person needed 10 additional rupees. So, 110 rupees required to buy same 10 items. So, the income of the person is same, but price level is rising and price level has increased. So, the fixed income earners, those who are the daily wages, those who are earning, who are getting their salaries or wages on the fixed basis, their income is not increasing according to the price level. So, the inflation has the negative impact on these people. Another is when there is inflation, value of currency or money falls. You can see in this example, or even if I say suppose a toffee cost 1 rupee. To purchase a toffee, we need 1 rupee. So, to decide about the toffee, if someone is purchasing a toffee at rupees 1, if suppose in November price rise by 10%, it means to buy this toffee you need 1.10, 1 rupee and 10 paisa. So, the same rupee, in October my rupee was able to buy 1 toffee, but same rupee in November is unable to buy the same toffee. So that is why we say the value of the money or value of the currency falls or the purchasing power of the currency declines when there is inflation. It is known as, inflation is also known as a theft, as a thief, which is taking away the purchasing power from the currencies. In the olden times, if even your parents, they might be telling you people that during their times they were getting very low salaries, but they were able to buy various items. The currency of the rupee at that time was very powerful. The price of the gold was very low during their time periods. Even the cattle was costing very low. The flour or wheat or rice or different things, their prices were low as compared to today. And then business plans affected negatively. Another negative impact of the inflation is that when there is inflation affects business plans negatively because businesses that have their annual plans, they prepare their budgets in advance, that where they will spend, from where they will receive the income. So, if suppose they prepare that they are going to establish a plant and it will cost a particular amount of the money, and although the people who are preparing the budget plans, they are also considering that what will be the expected inflation rate. So if unexpected inflation, if the inflation is going to increase beyond their expectations, so it will negatively affect their plans. It means whatever they are going to purchase with the allocated amount, because of the inflation, that allocated amount is supposed not sufficient to purchase same quantity of the goods or the same amount of the capital. So that's why they have to adjust their plans or just to stop on some projects because of the budgets. One cannot adjust immediately because they have to approve. They have to get approval from their different authorities. So business plans can also be affected by the inflation, but especially unexpected inflation. And lenders will, the inflation has a negative impact on the lenders, those who are giving the loans, to the other people. There are two types, especially types of the loan givers. One, when we give loan to anyone without charging any interest, and interest is the price of money. Means what the interest we are charging, though in religion, in the Islam, is the haram. One cannot charge the interest, but in economics terms, interest is known as the price of the money. If someone is selling the money, or if someone is giving the money to anyone as a loan, in return, when the person is expecting to receive, the person is charging the interest just to cover the interest plus the markup. So lenders, those who are giving the loans, they will lose. If suppose you have given 100 rupees loan, A is given loan to B, 100 rupees loan to B. In October, A has given 100 rupees to B. And in November, B is going to return. In November, B is going to return the 100 rupees to A. And as we have discussed here, that in between the 2 months, from October to November, the price level increase, there is a 10% increase in the price level. Although the B is going, or has returned same amount of the money, 100 rupees, but in real sense, because of the 10% rise in the price level, in real sense, A is received 90 rupees, because then we have to minus 10% inflation from the 100. It means your same 100 rupee is not going to purchase the same quantity of the goods which your 100 rupee were able to purchase in the October. So those who are getting the loans, if they are not charging any interest, they are the sufferers or they are the losers. So that is why they are charged the interest. And who is going to benefit from the inflation? Sailors. Sailors, they are the people who are going to earn more. When price increases, sailors, they are not going to be affected by the rise in the price because they are charging the increased price on their goods. Borrowers, they are also the beneficiaries of the inflation. Means when price rise, you can see in this example that B has purchased 100 rupees, and when the B is returning 100 to the A, although B is returning same 100 to the A, nominally 100 is written on the same currency note, but in real sense B has returned 90 rupees. So the borrowers, they are the beneficiaries of the inflation. They get benefit whenever there is inflation. And to continue the discussion of the inflation, what Causes of the inflation. What are the causes of inflation? Why prices rise? We always criticize the governments that because of such and such and such government, prices rises. But if you are understanding, if you have some sort of the knowledge about the inflation, about the causes of the inflation, then you will understand that who is responsible for the increase in the prices. So to understand that what are the factors causing the prices to rise, there are number one, demand pull inflation. The first, one of the factor, one of the reasons that why price rise is called the demand pull inflation. Pulling means buyers, when there is an increase in the demand. When the demand for the goods and services increases, people they want to buy more, and because of the various reasons, maybe because of the population rise, maybe because of the income of some people increased, average level of income of the people increased, so they start buying more, they demanding more. So when the aggregate demand increases, but in comparison of the demand, production is not increasing or the supply is not increased. So because of the increase in the demand, aggregate demand, we say that prices will rise. When people rush to buy the goods, when sellers know that there are more people they want to buy as compared to the goods available, they increase the prices, and when prices rise because of the pressure of the demand, when people are willing to buy more goods, it means they are pulling the prices to rise. So this is first of one reason, which is called the demand pull inflation. And another reason, cost push inflation. This is the opposite of this one. Or we can say cost push inflation is that type of the inflation or is that reason of the inflation that when the cost of production or input prices or the raw material we are using to produce the goods. This is on the supply side. When the manufacturing cost of the goods increases, when the input cost of the goods increases, when the prices of those things which we are using to produce the goods and services increases, it means when prices of input rises, then sellers increase the prices. It means sellers, they are pushing the prices to rise. Why they are pushing the prices to rise? Because now the input prices, they are higher than the previous one. I'm giving you a simple example. If just suppose the things or the items which are used in this marker for the production of the marker is just suppose costing 10 rupees. Labor, plastic, ink, color, machine, building, electricity, everything 10 rupees. And 2 rupees of the seller or the producer. So we are just suppose we say that we are selling this marker at 12 rupees. If I say suppose today the input price is rises. Previously 10 rupee was the input price. Today 11 or 12 rupees is the input price. Maybe plastic price increase, maybe labor cost increase. So now because this pain is costing more, 13 rupees to produce, or suppose 14 rupees to produce this marker. So ultimately, sellers will increase the prices. This is the second reason. And the third one, monetary policy or printing of currency notes increases. Another reason of the inflation is the price rise because when governments through the monetary policy is the government's policy. Through this policy, government controls the money supply. So when the printing of the currency increases, when the availability of the money is more than the availability of the goods, we say that there is a inflation in the economy or prices will rise when more currency is printed by the government or the monetary authorities. And the fourth one is import cost push inflation. Another reason that why prices rise is the import cost push inflation. Countries, they are also importing various inputs or the raw materials from the various countries. So when input cost of the imported items price increases and those imported items are used as a input, just like the petrol. Pakistan is the major importer of the oil. If the oil price increase, and oil is the most important factor used in the production, especially in the transportation or the production of the electricity or the energy, when input cost increases, means import cost increases, when the oil price in the world increases, when we import that high priced oil, ultimately the cost of production increases. So we say that there is inflation, and that inflation is because of the import cost increase. And it's very famous that when oil price increases, even the donkey cart people, they are also increasing. They also increase their fares. Even those who are the vendors, they also increase the prices of the items they are selling. And they are saying that because oil price increased. So what is the relationship of the donkey cart and the oil? It's a transportation cost. Though they are not using the oil, but they are also purchasing the goods from other people. And because they are purchasing the high priced items, so that's why they have to increase their earnings. So these are the major reasons that why prices in any economy increases. There are various others, but these are the major. So in this lecture, I have tried to explain that what is inflation. I repeat again, inflation is the general rise in the price level. It is the increase in the majority of the items price is compared to the last time's prices, and usually we use the basket, and suppose we have the basket of the goods. If this basket, there are various types of the baskets I will be discussing with you in the coming classes, just like the CPI, PPI, which is also known as the WPI, HPI. These are the different baskets or indexes I will discuss with you in the coming classes. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have understood. And I advise my students, especially to the commerce students of the chapter of University, that listen this video lecture carefully. And if you feel any question, please do send me messages or voice messages, and I will try to answer your questions individually. So thank you very much once again.